In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 jobs so desperate that they'll hire you with no experience. And I'm gonna show you how a few of them secretly can climb to 70, 90, even $150,000 a year. And by the way, this is coming from someone who spent years on this channel breaking down careers and salaries for millions of people. And I've heard every version of you need experience to get experience. And I know exactly where that rule does and does not apply. And right now, there are entire industries that can't fill seats. And managers are desperate. And desperate employers do not check resumes, they check pulses. And that's not an insult, it's an opportunity. And every job on this list gets you hired fast, hired with nothing, and a few hide career ladders that almost nobody talks about. Now, one warning, there is a tidal wave of AI generated job slop content out there, fake lists with made up salaries. This one is well researched, sourced, and real. And if you appreciate me making this type of content and you want me to make more of it in the future, then let me know by gently cheersing that like button, and let's jump into it right now. Okay, so first up, we're gonna talk about the dental and medical front office. So I call this one healthcare without the blood. And this might be the most overlooked door into the biggest industry in America, and probably the world. Now, a good example of this is a creator named Rachel Vinn. She filmed a day in the life working on the front desk at a dermatology office. We're talking phones, check-ins, the schedule, etc. And that video has over 235,000 views. Let that sink in. 250,000 people watched someone work a front desk. She was literally just doing what she was already gonna do, but she filmed it and posted it online and got 250,000 people to watch it. And there are lots of day in the life videos that are filmed inside dental offices that have crossed millions of views. And healthcare is the largest employment sector in America, and every clinic and dental office needs someone running the front. Now here's what matters. This job requires no certifications, no degree, and no patient contact, right? So no blood, no drills, just the desk work. So you're scheduling appointments, verifying insurance, and greeting people, which congratulations, you probably already know how to do that. And the front desk is the unlocked side door into an industry that everyone assumes requires years of schooling. Now the pay typically starts about $35,000 to $46,000 a year, but that's for entry level, and here's the ladder. You can go from front desk to billing to office manager, and you can be pulling anywhere from $50,000 to $65,000 by year 3, all without a college degree or previous experience. So the front desk is the airport control tower. It never touches a plane, but nothing lands without it. And the dentist can't drill, and the office can't collect a dime unless that desk keeps the schedule moving. So become the person that the whole office depends on, and promotions will start coming to you. So here's how to get started. Search Indeed tonight for medical receptionist plus dental front desk, and there are many listings that say no experience necessary, and then apply direct to small practices. They hire the fastest, and then lead with reliability. And then ask one question: can I cross-train into billing? Billing is where the raises will live. If you get really good at medical billing, you can make a lot of money. Now, by the way, we made AI resources to supplement this video. You can click them down in the description in the pinned comment below. That will help you if you get stuck on any of the steps, or if you want to learn more about any of these that we mentioned in the video. All right, next is going to be an apartment maintenance tech. Now, this one I like to call the free rent cheat code, because usually if you're an apartment maintenance tech, you actually live at the apartments and you get free rent. So a good example of this is a channel called Ray's Apartment and Home Maintenance. And Ray filmed his first day as an apartment maintenance guy, zero experience, just learning on camera, and the video got 173,000 views. So 173,000 people watched a man's first day unclogging drains. Now, property managers are starved for techs. Broken units don't collect rent, so an empty maintenance job bleeds money daily. And the job is basically just basic repairs. Unclog the drain, patch the drywall, swap the disposal, reset the breaker. And honestly, these are things you can look up on YouTube very easily how to do. But even if you don't want to look them up on YouTube, they'll usually train you because they have no choice. Now, base pay runs $37,000 to $50,000, but that's not the real number. Most of these positions come with free or heavily discounted rent on site. And that makes sense because if something goes down, they're probably going to call you. And if you live right there, then it's going to be really easy. And housing is the single biggest expense in your life. And this job deletes it immediately. And add it up, and your real compensation is closer to $55,000 or more. And when a job pays your salary and your rent, you're not making 40K, you're keeping 40K. But now let's talk about the career ladder very quickly, because we don't want to just pay attention to how much you make immediately, but how much you can make down the line. So if you go from maintenance tech to supervisor, you can be making $55,000 to $70,000 by year 3. But the bigger play is what the job turns you into. Think of it like a video game skill tree. You start with can hold a wrench, and then every work order unlocks a new branch, like plumbing, electrical, HVAC, etc. And if you stack enough branches, well, you're not just a maintenance guy anymore. you're a tradesman. And the trades are one of the best paying, most desperate corners of the economy. Again, download the AI skill in the description in the pinned comment below. Tell it that you're interested in this specific career. It's going to ask you some questions and interview a little bit, and then it'll tell you exactly what to do to land this. Now, by the way, the trades can be very lucrative. My brother Zach, for instance, has been in the trades for about 30 years. And he makes really, really good money in the trades. But one of the downsides of the trades is it can be pretty tough on your body. And that's exactly what Zach was telling me about a year ago, that he wanted to figure out how to make money in an alternative way, preferably online, because the trades were pretty tough on his body. And he also wanted to be able to travel. And that's when I told him that he should start a YouTube channel and a personal brand. And his very first video that he posted blew up, got over 800,000 views. And 29 days after posting his first video, he had a $214 day. So he went from zero to a full-time income in less than 1 month. And then 1 year after posting his first video, he had an $18,000 month. And I'm gonna be teaching people exactly how I help my brother grow his personal brand, because it's really good for making money on the side, but it's also really good for establishing your authority and getting better jobs if you want to, just like Josh did. Josh was getting invites to join Fortune 50 and FANG companies because of his YouTube personal brand. So if you want to know step-by-step exactly how we got my brother Zach started, click the link in the description in the pinned comment below to attend the live training that's happening this week. All right, so next up is security guard. And I call this one the $100 career card, because that's roughly the entire cost of entry into this profession. But here's the deal. In most states, an unarmed guard card takes a few days of training and costs under $100. And that's pretty much the entire barrier, right? That's the barrier to entry. Clean record, check. Pulse, check. Guard card, check. Hired. So the big national companies hire around the clock, and buildings contractually need coverage at all times. And an empty post for many of these companies could mean a broken contract. So they are desperate to hire people. And this is one of those jobs where you're not gonna have to be competing with other people online or competing with people internationally. The only people that can do these jobs are locals, and so there's not much competition. Now, one thing about this type of job is you can make a little bit more money if you're willing to work the night shift. So typically pay runs about $31,000 to $42,000 a year, but you can get paid more to work the night shift. Now, before you scoff at that number, understand what the job actually is at most posts. It's literally just presence. You're just paid to be somewhere. So think of it like a lighthouse. It doesn't chase ships. It stands there visible, and its existence alone prevents disasters. That's essentially what a security guard is. Most of the time, you're gonna be sitting there doing absolutely nothing. So if you want to work on stuff while you're at work, maybe a side hustle, for instance, or potentially even a second job, you can do that in many cases, and you can make extra money. Or you can just entertain yourself the whole time, caught up on whatever your favorite TV show is. Or you can get an online degree while you're working. Or you can learn even more valuable skills while you're working, et cetera, et cetera. I think you get the idea. So yeah, to get started, again, download the AI, tell it that you're interested in this one, and it'll tell you exactly how to get into it in your specific area. Plus, it'll give you career-wide recommendations on what you can do to enhance your career as a whole. Quick break. I'm going to be doing a live training this week on how to start YouTube step-by-step for beginners. This is going to be for people who want to start a channel, but they don't know what niche to pick, what videos to make, or how to actually get started the right way. And it's a completely free training, no strings attached. In fact, I'm giving away even more bonuses at this training. Just as an example, I'm gonna be giving away my niche validator, which works for ChatGPT, as well as Claude Skills, which is a super valuable piece of software where you can finally figure out what the best niche for you is. So do not miss out on this training. Make sure you sign up for it down in the description and the pinned comment below, because you only get it if you join the training. So if you don't join now, you might miss out on it forever. But that being said, in the workshop, you'll get to meet me and you'll get to ask me questions directly. So I look forward to seeing you. So click the link in the description and the pinned comment below this week. Make sure you put it on your calendar. And if for whatever reason you missed out on it or you weren't able to attend, make sure you still click that link, because we might be having workshops in the future as well, and you'll be the first to know about it. So yeah, hope to see you there. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right, next is going to be insurance sales. So this is the W-2 that pays you twice, and the mechanism behind that name is the most underrated wealth machine on this entire video. So a good example of this is Cody Askins. He's one of the biggest insurance sales educators on YouTube. He has a video called What to Expect Your First 90 Days as an Insurance, and it is aimed at total beginners. It has over 234,000 views. So there's an entire ecosystem of channels that exist just to onboard brand new agents. And that tells you something, because agencies are recruiting relentlessly, and the industry is aging out, and they'll happily take someone with zero background and pay for their license as well. So the job here is you get a state license. It might take a few weeks. It might be a couple $100s. And in many cases, the companies will actually pay you to study for this license and get trained for it. And then you help people pick coverage and earn commission on every single policy. Now, in the first year, a realistic target is about $50,000 plus dollars. But the real money comes from renewals. See, when your client renews the next year, you get paid again. And then the year after that, you get paid again. So you did the work once, but you keep getting paid year after year, and your new work compounds on top of your old work. So in insurance, the sale that you close in year 1 is still writing you checks in year 3, and this is the closest thing to passive income inside of a W-2. Now you might be thinking, well, Shane, people cancel their insurance policies. Actually, most people don't cancel their insurance policies. That's one of the reasons why the insurance industry is so lucrative. And that's also why by year 3, many insurance agents sit at $80,000 to $150,000 plus dollars a year because their book of business compounds while they keep selling. So think of it like an orchard. Year 1, you're digging holes. Year 3, you're picking fruit off of trees that you planted while planting new ones as well. And every other job on this list does reset to zero every morning, at least in terms of the money you're making passively, but this one doesn't. Now you might be thinking, well, I'm not a salesperson, Shane, I can't ever sell. Well, nobody is on day 1. Sales is a learned skill, and it's the most portable one that you can get paid to practice. And a community member of mine, Isaiah, for instance, is a vocal coach, but once he learned to sell what he knew, he did nearly $30,000 in a single month when he first started with us. And he did that by posting videos on YouTube, and he posts like 1 video a month, and he's making multiple tens of thousands of dollars a month. So the skill transfers everywhere. Now, the way to get started with this is, again, download the AI by clicking the link in the description and the pinned comment below. Tell it you're interested in this career specifically. It'll ask you a few questions like where you're located, and it'll give you detailed, personalized advice on exactly what to do in order to get into this, depending on where you live, et cetera, et cetera. Now, the next one is car sales. And I call this one the 35-year-old's revenge. And this is the one in America where being older with no resume beats being 22 with a degree. Now, a good example of this is a creator named Neil Blaylock. And his video is literally titled, How to Make $100,000 as a Beginner Car Salesman. And it has over 100,000 views. Now, if he makes $1,000 per 1,000 views, which is pretty typical if you're selling a high-ticket product or service from your channel, in fact, that's even on the lower side, then he likely made over $100,000 from this video. So beginner, 100 grand, same sentence, and 6 figures worth of people clicked to check. So it's real, and here's why dealerships don't care about your resume. Turnover in car sales is legendary. Somewhere near you right now, a sales manager is staring at an empty desk costing him deals daily. And he doesn't need a resume, he needs someone that customers actually like. So if you're 30, 35, 40, you've had a mortgage, a car payment, a budget, and you can talk to a real adult about a real financial decision better than any 22-year-old. So your life experience is the resume. And typically in your first year, you can expect to make about $45,000 to $80,000. And top salesmen at good stores typically hit about $90,000 to $130,000. Now, of course, you can get much higher than that, but we're just talking about the typical numbers here. But let's talk about the career ladder, because the showroom sells the car, but the little office in the back sells the money. It's called the F&I, the finance and insurance, the loans, the warranties, and the protection packages. And F&I managers make $120,000 to $150,000 plus dollars a year, often more than anyone else in the building. And that path starts on the sales floor with no experience. So think of a concert. The tickets get you in, but the merch table is where the margin lives. The car is the ticket, and the F&I is the merch table. So it's always good to know that if you're gonna go into a career, there's a career ladder for you to climb, and it's not just a dead end. But here's my tough love moment for some of you, right? Because some of you have spent years telling yourself that you're too old to start over. No, you've been one Saturday application away from a 6-figure ladder this whole time. You just never walked onto the lot. And if you want to get started as a car salesman, here's how to do it. Download that AI, tell it that you want to get started in car sales. It'll interview you and give you a personalized recommendation for exactly how to get started. Plus, it'll give you tips on how you can use the knowledge that you already have to start a second income or make money on the side. And that's what we're going to talk about here in a moment, because let's zoom out. There's a pattern across every job in this video. We're talking front desks, maintenance rooms, night shifts, sales floors, etc. Every one of these doors is unlocked for the same reason. The demand is real and the gatekeeping is gone. They basically need you more than you need them, and supply and demand is in your favor. But did you catch the other pattern? Almost every example was a regular person in one of these jobs who pointed a camera at an ordinary workday, stuff that they already knew how to do, and pulled 100, 200, nearly 300,000 views per video. A receptionist, a maintenance guy, a night security guard, etc. So the job is the floor, but what you learn inside is the ceiling. And every one of these jobs generates the thing that people are desperately curious about, which is experience. And that's not a theory on this channel. A community member of mine, Craig, is a realtor out of Montana in his 70s, and one of his videos just crossed over 100,000 views. He has no media background, no fancy studio. He literally recorded from his webcam on his laptop. He just had real expertise and he pointed it at the right audience with the right strategy. So if a man in his 70s can do it from Montana, your excuse just left the building. And 99% of you need to come to the free workshop this week, where I'm going to teach you exactly how to grow and make your own money from YouTube with a personal brand. And this is something that not only can help you make money directly, like a second income, a side hustle, even starting your own business, but indirectly, it's going to grow your authority and it can lead to incredible opportunities in your career. For instance, like I mentioned before, Josh Madakor was able to land his dream job and they reached out to him. And these are companies where usually people have to apply for years and they still don't get in. That is the power of building your own personal brand. Now, 99% of you are just going to watch my free content. You're going to come to my free workshop. You're going to get a ton of value out of that. And we're never going to end up working together, probably 99.9. But for the 1% or even 0.1% of you out there that wants a hand-holding experience, you want one-on-one mentorship, us working directly with you or us literally just doing the work for you. If that's what you want, then go ahead and click the link to book a call by clicking the link in the description in the pinned comment below. Only book this call if you're very serious about growing and making money on YouTube. It is quite expensive to work with us. We're the best of the best and we get the best results in the industry. And that's why it's not for everyone. With that being said, check out the video right here of exactly what it's like to work with us by seeing exactly how we help my brother grow from zero to a full-time income in less than 1 month on YouTube.